This conference will now be recorded.
Hello, everyone. My name is Malcolm Irving. I am the financial manager for Pickup USA franchise. I also will be running the Denver location. So a lot of people on here, you guys, open up your store. So I'm going through the same thing you guys are going through. We should be starting pre-sales in June. So look out for us. It's very, very exciting. Can't wait to start selling memberships like what you guys are doing. All right. So today I will be showing you how to manage the flow of your cash. This is very important when owning a business. If this is not on point, you can accidentally overdraw money from the bank, not paying your bills on time, which can result in not having water or electric in your building, which can result in giving members a bad customer experience. So on that note, let's dive in. Let's go over the master list as you see right here. Now, this document is a cash flow management worksheet. You can find in FranConnect. Just put in cash flow management. It should pop up and you can download that to your desktop. Okay, perfect. Okay, so the master list is pretty much all your expenses for the month. You put all your expenses on this list, okay? So from all the bills you get from vendors will go on this list, okay? So all the total expenses that you have will be on here, okay? So I'd like to go over each category. Company. The company is going to be the vendors that you will have to pay out, okay? So, like the electric, the trash, SBA loan. So all this stuff is going to be, all the vendors are going to be under the company list. So you put them right there for you, okay? And then if you look at amounts, you put the amount that you will have to pay the vendors. Now, let me just go over the amount real quick with you. So if you see some of these payments, they are placeholders, okay? So numbers you see here is what you're budgeting for the month. Now, as I mean placeholders is that you might budget, let's say, water for $200, but let's say that you guys used a lot of water last month. So you get the bill, it could be over $200, maybe you get $300. So when you get that bill, you change the amount and do $300, put $300 underwater. Now, it could be less too, but as I mean placeholders. Now, as some of these amounts are fixed costs as well, like rent. Rent will be fixed cost, okay? Your SBA loan will be fixed cost, okay? So those you really cannot change. They're not placeholders, they're fixed costs. But a lot of these are placeholders where it can vary. You can maybe be low sometimes, or sometimes it can be a little bit high, all right? So let's go to due date. So for the due date, as you see, you have the 1st, the 5th, the 6th, the 10th, 11th, 15th. These are also placeholders, okay? Now, the billing company expects you to pay it on the 1st. Sometimes they give you wiggle room to pay it off, all right? Like for instance, let's say for my store, Denver, for rent, the due date is on the 1st. That's when I get in the mail, pay on the 1st, but I don't have to pay that off until they give me 9 extra days to pay off that payment, okay? So that's why they're placeholders. They might not have to be due on that date. You have some wiggle room to pay it off, okay? All right. So when it goes, let's go to varies. So some things varies. So for merchandise, supplies, repair and maintenance, it varies, okay? Being said that, you might not have to pay that payment this month. Like repairs and maintenance, you might not have to have any repair and maintenance for, your facility at all. So that's one payment you don't have to pay that month. Okay. Maybe supplies and merchandise, you bought enough last month that you don't need to pay for any this month. Okay. So that's why it varies. All right. All right. Now, auto debit, these are the payments that you will have to pay on that date. There's no wiggle room. So you put those on auto debit. So you don't have to worry about it. You already know it needs to be paid. So it just automatically takes it from your account. For example, payroll. You have to pay for your employees. Okay. If you don't pay your employees, you will not have some very happy employees. So that is pretty much a payment that needs to be paid on that due date. All right. Okay. So being said that, let's go to cash flow management. All right. So I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to skip a little bit. So if you see here, current expenses, if you see here, I have May. So what you're going to do for the master list, you're going to copy and paste this to the current expenses on the cash flow management worksheet under this. Okay. Perfect. All right. So that's what you're going to do every single month. Okay. Now let's go to the top of the list. All right. So for number one, we're starting for number one, MIB. What that means, money in bank. Okay. So record the money that's in your bank account. So whatever you see in your bank account, you're going to put in this cell. All right. So let's say 18,000. You get $18,000 in your account right now. So you're going to put that in that cell. Okay. All right. Now, number two, record the cash collected that is yet to be deposited. Okay. Now, when it comes to that, some members, and you guys probably all see this, some members don't want to use their card to make the payments. It's on file, but they don't want to use it. They rather pay cash. Okay. Or some people buy shirts and they pay cash. Okay. They don't want to use a card. So this money is recorded in Club Ready, but it wasn't deposited in your bank account. So this is cash on hand. Okay. So this is the cash that you put in your safe, stuff like that, and it has not been deposited yet. Okay. So you put that in cell B4. So let's say for me, I have $300 cash on hand. Perfect. Now let's look at 3. This is very, very, very important. The remits. All right. Remits is in Club Ready. And what it does, it takes the money that you have made and deposit it into your account. So number 3, record the upcoming remits amount and deposit date that is yet to be reflected in the bank account. So being said that, let me just go over kind of the remit and when it does get deposited into your account. Okay. So the remit hits your bank account on Tuesdays and Fridays. Okay. So whatever you made, so let's look for Tuesday. For whatever you made Thursday through Sunday will get deposited on Tuesday. Okay. Now whatever you made for Monday and Wednesday will get deposited on Friday to your account. Okay. All right. Now being said that, and so ready, if you notice, if I said Tuesday through Sunday, you get deposited on Thursday through Sunday, and it gets deposited on Tuesday. That means you have a Monday to actually see what's going to be deposited. Okay. Same thing for being deposited on Friday. Monday through Wednesday, will be deposited on Friday, that means Thursday you have a day to look at it before it's deposited. So whenever you have financial meetings with your GM, AGM, which I recommend, have it on those days, Monday and Thursday. So you can let them know how things are going with the cash flow and how much money they will need to make for the next remit. Okay? All right. So being said that, today I'm recording this on Thursday, so I have one remit left that's going to hit the account. And I see it. So right now, I'm looking at it right now. I have $2,000 going to be deposited tomorrow. So this is what you put on number 3. Perfect. Okay. So total without cash will be $20,000. Now you notice that we did not add the service cash. That should kind of be more your rainy day fund if needed, if it's necessary to use. Okay, if it's necessary to use, then you can add that on. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's go to number 5. Okay. All right. So number 5, add items from current expenses to sales based on urgency. Okay. Now I want to show you this. Okay. I'm gonna skip a little bit. I'm sorry. But if you look at step 5, as the next month approaches, copy and paste next month items, amount, due dates, and autos from the master sheet. So this is number 5, okay? But being said that, as I mentioned, the amounts and due dates are placeholders. So you might have some expenses from the previous month that you have not paid, okay? So if you look here, I still have 3 things in April I have not paid, okay? So I left it there. I have wiggle room. It's a placeholder. I don't need to pay it on the 27th, 25th, or the 18th, okay? So I waited a little bit. So when I need to pay it, when I have enough money in the bank account to pay it off. Now, if you see here, for me, it seems like I have enough to pay this off now. All right. So add items from current expenses to this cell based on urgency. Now I haven't paid these off, so I'm going to put in the urgency list. Okay. All right. Plus what I have for May that needs to be paid. Today is the 4th. You guys will be hearing this on the 5th. Today's the 4th. So I'll put all the first ones on there as well. Okay. So what you do there, sum. All right. And you just add. And you do plus, 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 and you go rent. Like I said, rent is wiggle room. But if you have enough money, which it seems like I do, okay, I can add it to my urgency list. I can pay it off. And you want to pay off your rent. I mean, you want to be good with your landlord. You want to be, good tenants. So, if you have the money, pay off the rent as soon as possible. Okay? And pay the gardener, pay marketing, pay Indeed. Well, like I said, Indeed auto, so you have to add that anyways. It's going to be taken away. Okay? And then, I'm going to add plus again. All right, perfect. So if you see here, I added all my current expenses to this cell based on urgency, and with pretty much what has passed. So I had to pay all my bills on the 1st. I paid, okay? and then my April bills that I did not pay in April. So it's all be here, and in total, my immediate cash, I had paid $19,235 in the urgency. Okay. All right. That being said, that number 6, expected cash surplus after immediate expenses are settled. I have a surplus. As I said, surplus. I have $765 left. So this is when you tell your GM, AGM, you guys have been doing a great job. We paid all our bills and we still have some money left over. Okay. So we're doing a very, very good job. All right. All right. So let's add the numbers. So let's go to number 7. Add the number of remits left that is unaccounted for in the worksheet until the next time you expect to review your financial position. Okay. So today, so you already accounted for Friday, tomorrow. So you should meet with your GM, like I said, that day where they give you, where you can see it before it's deposited. So you should see Monday. So you have one left. All right. So being said that, number 8, the average amount needed per remit accounted for in 6 to break even with 5. Okay. So if you look here, so that's pretty much what it is. Okay. Oops. All right. So let's go to number 9. Sum of all current expenses. So pretty much everything here, right? If you look here, it's going to take everything that's in the amount, we put it right there. So this is all going to be added. I mean, once you download this sheet from the FranConnect, this is already done, okay, for you guys. All right, so you got $47,840 of expenses this month, okay? Expected cash efficient or surplus after total payables are settled. So now we need $27,840 more to pay out all our current expenses, okay? All right. Now, number 11, add the number of remits left that is unaccounted for in the worksheet for the remainder of the month, okay? So pretty much you're just going to count all the remits that are left for the remainder of the month. I'm going to guess this, but, when you guys do this, make sure that you count for all the remits accounted for, okay? So there's going to be 2 each month pretty much. I already did 1 month, so yeah. Let's say 6. All right. So you got 6 remits left for the remainder of the month, and the average amount needed per remit accounted for each one, you need $4,640, okay, to break even with 9. So when you do your financial reviews with your GM, AGM, as I recommend you should do, you should let them know this is how much we need each remit to break even, okay? Now, as a business owner, you want them to exceed that. You don't want to break even. I think breaking even is okay, but you want to exceed that, okay? So, but this is something that it's a number for them to have in their head while they're down there selling memberships. Okay? All right. So pretty much I went over 1 through 12, okay? I like to go over these steps for number 4 because we missed 4. Some of these I actually started from the beginning, but I'll go over again, okay? So for step 1, copy and paste current month items, amount, due dates, and autos from master sheet, cash flow management sheet. So as I mentioned, the first part, you're going to copy and paste, put it right there. That was number 1. Once an actual invoice is received, we're going to go over this, update the due date for that item to reflect the actual due date instead of a simple due date placeholder, okay? So pretty much as I mentioned earlier, once you get an actual invoice and it says right now you have on the 7th to 27th, maybe electric will be due, they want it on the 29th. So you're going to switch that due date out, okay, to reflect the actual due date, okay? All right, number 3, add amounts to 5 based on urgency to settle the expensive items. So number 5 is pretty much that. I added all these up. This is what I got, okay? And then, so once the invoice is settled and clearing the bank account, delete from the worksheet. If the item is pending in the bank account, zero out the amount and note that, okay? So the invoice is processing, okay? So let's say I pay rent, okay? So let's say I paid all these. It's not processing, it's actually paid. So what I'll do, I'll delete it. Okay? All right, perfect. All right, so I'll delete it. Also, when it comes to this, say rent, I paid rent, I delete that too. Okay, sorry about that. But yeah, so I deleted it as well. But let's say gardener is processing. Okay, as I mentioned before, in the invoice, processing in the due date. So let's say for gardener, it's pending in your bank account. It says pending. You put 0 and you put processing. It's not paid yet. Right now, the bank is kind of doing its review before it takes it out to your account. So right now, it's just processing, okay? Same thing, let's say for marketing. It's pending, got 0, you put processing. All right? Same thing for Indeed. Put 0, processing. All right? So I hope you guys understand that. So when the bank takes the money, it'll say processing is actually cleared and it's been paid, you delete that cell off your list because it's been paid, okay? Now, if it's pending, that means it's processing. So when you come and look at it on Monday with your team, you look over those payments and to see if it's still pending. But if it's not pending, once you see it's not pending and it's paid for, you will clear those off too. You delete them as well. All right? So pretty much that concludes my presentation with you guys. As I mentioned before, you can find Cash Flow Management Worksheet in FranConnect. So you can go to that, download it, and you should get to starting this right away. All right? Now, if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me. My email is malcolm@pickupusafitness.com. So I'm always here. So hope you guys have a great rest of your day and a great weekend. So Malcolm is out. All right.